This is a great DIY project that allows you flexibility and versatility in the way you want to set up your cubby storage.
Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to show you a do-it-yourself project on how you can make storage cubbies from products that you can buy at your local home improvement store. The reason I am making my own cubbies as opposed to buying them is they only have limited configurations, and you can buy smaller ones and make your own configurations, stack them and whatnot. But my small cabin, my wife and I have kind of a tiny home, and I have to get really creative with the configuration of my storage cubbies. So I went to a home improvement store. I bought the shelving, and it's a bit thicker than the stuff for the cubbies that you'll find at a department store. This shelving is 3/4 inches thick. It has a nice rounded edge on the front, so that would be your face edge. It is 11 1/4 inches wide, which is perfect because that's about how deep those little cloth cubby boxes are. And this one is 6 foot tall. I decided to get 6 foot for ease of transporting it home. So I will show you some measurements that I came up with and show you how I'm going to put these together. So I've already taken my 6 foot chunk and I cut 2 at 24 1/4 inch. So that is the top and the bottom. And then the two ends and the divider, they're all the same size. And that is cut at 11 3/8. So I'm going to be building 2 sets of 2 cubbies. So I've got my pieces cut. Next, I'll be assembling them. All right, I'm going to start by attaching the top to the sides. I've already done this side. I figured I'd come in like 1 1/4 from the edges, and then just line up your 1 1/4 mark with your edge board so that you make sure that your drill bit and your screw hit the center of that. So there's my mark right there. I'm going to do the same to the back side here. The hardware that you use is completely up to you. All you want to make sure is that you have enough screw to go through this material and sink into this material at least as much as this is thick. So right now this is 3/4 inch thick. I want to make sure that I'm at least going into this 3/4 inch. You can go a little bit further. You don't want to go too much further. So with my screw, I just set it up to my drill bit like so, and that's the depth I want to be at. I don't want to drill any deeper than that because I don't want my screw to strip out. I want it to have enough gription to hold it together. Also, the drill bit is the same diameter as the shank of the screw, not the actual threads. The threads, you always want your threads of your screw to be bigger than your drill bit. Now when you drill this hole, make sure that you're flush on the outside and the back here. I like to do 1 hole at a time, get my screw in. That way it's not going to move around by the time I drill my second hole. Now again, the hardware that I'm choosing, it's a wood screw, and it has a beveled head on it so that you can countersink and it'll set flush. Nice and flush. I won't have any screw heads sticking above this surface. So I chose I believe this is a little over 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and chuck that up in my drill and be real light on my touch as I drill that over the hole that I just made to make a little countersink. Now that you have that front screw in, you can move to the back. Again, make sure it's nice and flush. You're looking at flush right here. Go on your mark. Make sure that you're holding your drill straight up and down. You're not tipping side to side because you'll blow your bit or your screw out. All right, I have both ends attached to the top. So I'm going to go ahead and take this carefully, flip it over, put this part on the ground, and I'll go ahead and repeat that process for those 4 holes. One thing you want to make sure when you do flip it over, you'll notice that this whole edge is the exposed particle board, whereas that edge is the nice finished end that you want facing your living space. So make sure that you have all those appropriate edges together. You don't want to accidentally install this board opposite from your other one. All right, at this point, I have all 8 corners screwed in to the edge pieces. Now you want to take your divider piece, your center piece, which should be identical to both your outside pieces. And you can take that, again, make sure the face edge, you're gonna face it the same way. You should be able to slip it right in there. You need to take your tape measure and take a couple measurements. You can go from the outside or you can go from the inside and make sure it's perfectly center. Once you do that, then you can measure for where you want your screws. I'm going 1.25 inches in and then centered right over the piece, and go ahead and drill the holes for this. And there you go. You've made your cubby. An easy do-it-yourself project, very simple. Like I said, the reason I decided to do it myself was because I had a very specific location and dimensions that I needed my cubbies. Most cubbies that you can find at the store, they are 2x2, 2 wide, 2 high, so it'd be like a square, or 3x2 or 4x2, or you can do 3x3. They've got all those kinds of symmetrical shapes, but that wasn't gonna work in my small home, so I needed to do it this way. Really easy. I hope this was informative for anybody that's trying to do it on their own. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, please, and consider subscribing to our channel, Bramante Brothers, where we live off-grid and have lots of adventures out in the Alaska wilderness. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.
Bramante Brothers.